lesson number 15 of Learn Free Music Theory. So today in this lesson we're going to be covering kind of like a mini lesson on a small rhythmic thing that I didn't put in the rhythmic series, but I didn't want it to drag on and slow down stuff, but I wanted to cover it now. So that thing that we're going to cover is called upbeats. They're also known as pickup beats or anacrusis or whatever. There's 3 different names for them. So I'll draw them out on the board and let's get started. Okay, so first up, what is this thing called a pickup beat? Alright, so first up, it's not really that hard of a thing to understand. Basically a pickup beat is sort of like a stolen beat, or it's like an intro beat almost. Those are a couple of different ways to understand it. It's known by 3 different names. Upbeat is one, pickup beat is another, and a more kind of theoretical one that is popular in the analysis community would be anacrusis. So you'll probably most likely hear one of these two and not very often hear this unless you're in the College of Music or surrounded by other music teachers. Most likely if you're playing in a band or something, you're going to hear upbeat or pickup beat. Okay? So they're all the same thing, basically, and this is how it works. This is a very basic, simple example. So say we have 1, 2, 3, and this is a bar. So it's written in 3/4 time, right? So we have 3 beats in this bar, and okay, so there should be 3 beats in each bar. Well, okay, what the heck is going on here? We only have 2 beats in this bar, and we only have one beat over there. What's the deal with this? So this beat here is the pickup beat, right here. That's the pickup beat. And basically how it works is, it's sort of like an intro beat to this one. Now remember how we had strong and weak beats before? So if we were trying to play this, what we'd actually do is we'd play this as a weak beat. So it'd be like weak, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, like that. So it's kind of like an intro to this note. So whenever you play it, don't think of the pickup beat as the strong note. Don't go do, dun, or don't go dun, 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 like that. Keep this one weak and then play that one the stronger one, alright? Now, the number that's assigned to it is the last number in the bar. So for here, it's taking a beat 3. So you'd actually count this like this. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then you'd end like that, okay? And basically why I say it's a stolen beat is because this 3 should be here, but it's actually going to be placed over here, okay? So this 3 belongs right here. That's why I have the arrow going there. This 3, actually the real home is right here, but it's like, I didn't like that bar, it was a bad measure. Beat number 1 and 2 abused me, so I'm going to go and move to another place. So just like, it just runs away from its bar or home and it's like, I'm chilling out here! Or something like that. So it's over on bar 3, it's kind of like a limbo bar where it technically isn't a bar, it's a pickup beat, okay? So the pickup beat leads into the intro beat, and that's basically how it works. You can have longer ones, it doesn't have to be just one beat. Like you could have, if say this is written in 4/4, and I had a half note here and another half note there, I could move that half note over here and it would be counted 3, 4. So you'd still have 1, 2, okay? Or I could make that an 8th note, and that could only be the end of the 3 beat, and then I'd have to somehow account for another part over there. But basically, you actually stop the bar right when you finish. It's basically split the end bar and the beginning bar up. And usually it won't be this short of a piece, it'll be a longer piece, right? Like with, however many bars, like 40 bars or 100 bars. So you actually have to, you don't, if you're writing it out, you have to make sure that you remember to do it at the last bar. But if you're just playing it, just look at this pickup beat here and be like, okay, the pickup beat is a weak beat, this is my strong beat. Okay? So it's just like an intro. The song doesn't really begin its first strong beat until the first bar, the first complete bar. That's not a thing. Now, some questions that they ask you are, they'll give you a whole bunch of things and they'll say, oh yeah, just place bar lines here. And then you have to go like, huh, because they might give you a time signature or not a time signature, and you kind of have to figure out, like, usually they'll give you a time signature though. And yeah, we're going to cover some exercises right now actually in the next thing that we do, so let's get on to that. Alright guys, so here's 3 exercises for you to do. So I have one in 4-4, 3-4, and 3-8. Now, your first challenge is to see if you can sort out where the bar lines go in these things. They should be pretty easy to do. Basically just try copying these out on a piece of paper and then see if you can figure out where the bar lines go. Now, if you can't, basically just pause the video, do that, and then I'm going to show you in the next part what the right answers are and explain the reasons and see if it matches up with your answers. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Alright guys, so here are your answers. So we have, let's just start from the top here. So basically, the first clue that you can always get to a bar has to go somewhere is if there's one of these. Those are ties. Whenever you see a tie is only involved when it's, well, I guess not really, but it's joining 2 notes together over something, right? Now usually you'll use ties mainly to join notes over bars because you could just create a bigger note value if you needed something longer, but you can't create a note that goes over the bar's length. So if you want to join a note and it has to be held over a bar, you use a tie to kind of string it together. So a tie is kind of like a dead giveaway that there's going to be a bar there. So you can look for ties, that's one way. Another way to kind of figure out where your bars have to go is look for a spot where all the beats of that bar are tied up in one note. And then you know there's a bar line at either end of that note. I'll show you the examples. So here we have a tie. So I know that my first bar line goes here, okay? So now I know this is beat 4 and this is beat 1. Okay, so now I count for beat 1 here, beat 2 here, 3 and 4 in this one because that's 3 beats. Now I know that I've accounted for 4 beats, so I draw another bar line. Now I have 1 beat and 2 and 3 beat here, and then I run out, so it's perfect. So I know 4 is there and 3 like that. So there you go. Okay? Now for 3-4 time, how do I know that this is my first bar? Because I could end it there and whatever. Well, I know because of this note. There's a dotted half note here. Now I only have 3 beats for measure, and if I see a dotted half note and it takes up all 3 beats, then I know there's a bar line here and here surrounding it. So from there I know that, oh okay, this goes there, and then I just work my way up and then it all works out perfectly. So that's beat 3, that's beat 1, 2, and 1 and 2. Now I just thought of something, because I am just creating all these on the fly, and I just thought of something that actually was a mistake. Whoops. Technically I drew it out fine, but I did. What I shouldn't have done is, when you have a pickup beat actually, you're only supposed to have 1 rest or 1 note, although a rest would be kind of pointless. So for me to even put a rest there is kind of stupid, so my bad. Anyway, at least you guys know from my errors. Because I was just doing it kind of like trying to be like, okay, hurry, the lights are going and the camera battery is dying, and I'm just like over here trying to draw it quickly and make sure that it makes sense in my head. But anyway, yeah, so this rest shouldn't be here. So technically, let's just pretend this is a, what did I do? Yeah, let's pretend this is a quarter note and that rest is gone. Classic government cover-up. Yes. Okay, anyway. So, yeah, anyway, so now you guys know that you can only have a note there probably, because there would be really no point for a pickup or rest, I don't think. So yeah. Anyway, moving along, so over here, again, we use the same rule to figure out where the bar lines go. So I know I have these 3 eighth notes here joined together. Oh, okay, so that takes up a whole bar and that takes up a whole bar. Simple. And then I just put my pickup beat there. Like my pickup beat has to be there because that's a whole bar and this is a whole bar. And then, boom. So try to look for basically 2 elements. One, you want to look for ties that are going across the bar, and you also want to look for like groups of notes or like a single note that's going to take up a whole bar. Okay? And that is basically how you basically allocate the bars if there's a pickup beat in there or whatever. And yeah, So if you guys ever get that question asked on an exam or something like that, then you should know the answer to it now. Okay? So that was the last thing on rhythm. And basically, yeah, we're almost done level 1. We only have a few more topics to cover, which are basically involving like chords and intervals. And then we have terms and stuff like that. So we're pretty close. I'd say we're at least probably over 70% past what we need to know for level 1. Okay? So I hope you guys found that helpful, and let's add some homework in. No. Alright guys, so for your homework, what I would like you to do is I want you to draw 10 lines, and in each line you're going to have a different time, well, you probably will run out of time signatures, but try to use a whole bunch of different time signatures, and you can write it on treble clef or bass clef, whichever you want. And I want 4 bars for every line, and basically 10 lines. And then what I want you to do is draw some notes, and you're going to have to kind of plan where the bars are going to go, and add 1 pickup beat for each line, and then experiment with different combinations and make it all work, and then add your lines in after. So I want you to write out all the notes, and then in your head try to keep track of where everything's supposed to go, and then make sure that it works out with the right amount of bars. Okay? So you do 10 of those lines and that should be good. Alright, so, and also don't copy that mistake that I made there, is when I had 2 a rest and a note. So just make sure that it is 1 note. It can only be 1 note. I don't think you can have like a group of 2 eighth notes or something like that as a pickup beat. So actually I think you might be able to have like a group, but just try to keep it with 1 note. I actually can't remember because I haven't really studied the rules of pickup beats in a while, and it's kind of something random that you don't usually have to think about too much. But anyway, okay, so I hope that helps, and yeah, I hope you guys are doing well and you are having fun and learning lots. So keep it up and take care. Bye-bye. See ya.